This is George Dion of the Rock is George podcast, and this is a KNAC.com exclusive interview with Southern hard rock artist Ron Keel of the Ron Keel Band.
Let's have some fun, man. Let's talk the rock and rock the talk.
All right. If I knew absolutely nothing about Ron Keel, how would you actually, if I knew absolutely nothing about the Ron Keel Band, how would you describe your music to me?
Describing the music is really difficult because it's very diverse, as I have been the last 20 plus years. But it's a combination of songs from the heart. I think everything that I do, from the Right to Rock on through the brand new single Heart on the Outside, Heart on the Inside, comes from the heart. It's got to be real. It's got to be honest. At this stage of the game, I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm not putting on a show. I'm putting on shows, but I'm not putting on an act. Just very comfortable to be myself with the audience and with the fans and the listeners. And musically, I think, we get a lot of comparisons to 38 Special, I guess. That's and that's, to me, that's a compliment, a combination of good commercial hard rock with a little twang to it and songs that talk about real life and tell stories. There is obviously a heavier side to RKB, especially when we play live, because we include all the Keel songs in the show. We've got 9 Keel songs in the show this year and 3 Steeler songs in the show this year. So you're going to hear a little bit of everything as we take you on a ride through my entire career.
Well, let's talk about the new single that you mentioned. It's Hard on the Outside, Heart on the Inside. I listened to this song. My interpretation of it is, we all bleed, and we're not really this tough guy facade that we necessarily put out there, whether it's a man or a woman. We all can have that tough exterior, but we all have a heart, and we're all sensitive, and things hurt.
Absolutely. And that anthem style message has been a common thread through my music since the Right to Rock. We're all in this together. That's what it really means. I mean, when this is over, and some of the other songs that I'm really proud of, they all have that common theme. We're all in this together, whether you're left, right, what color, what style of music. If you're a metalhead or a redneck or whatever, man, we're all part of this human family. And it's an attempt to unify people. I don't preach, especially on social media. I don't voice my opinions, so to speak, about what's going on in the world. But I find it therapeutic to mention some of those topics in my lyrics and in the songs like Hard on the Outside, Heart on the Inside. And I'm really proud of this new single. Appreciate the great response. We had the band all together a couple of weeks ago for rehearsals in our first show of the year, and we were going to film a music video for the song. And I just thought, let's let the lyrics speak for themselves and release a lyric video for this song. And so that people can actually see the words as opposed to me singing the words in a music video. Now I think that it has more impact that way. And it's very indicative of the style of music that I love. Guitar-driven rock anthems, big, powerful, gravelly vocals, thunderous drums, screaming guitars, but melodic. It's people have called it AOR, where we and in the lyrics we talk about the keyboard warriors behind their screens who are very quick to voice their opinions, and that's okay. That's the modern age. Facebook, social media, etc., has given everyone that platform. Everybody's a rock star now. Everybody can be a critic. Back in the day, there was Billboard magazine, Circus magazine, Hit Parade, or whatever. They would review your new album, and it was a big deal because their opinion really resonated with the fans, the audience, the customers, the buyers. Nowadays, everybody's a critic, and they can all voice their opinions as they see fit. And I think it's great. I also think it's been, a detriment somewhat to I mean, how much do you really take this guy's opinion? He posts on Facebook, well, it's not the best song I ever heard. I don't really like it. And what does his opinion really count? It's cool, man. Well, I've come to grips with this a long time ago. The fact that I've sold 3 million records means that billions of people don't like me or don't want what I do. So I'm cool with that.
Well, this new single is leading to a full album. Um, right now, it's titled Keel World. I don't know if that'll be the final thing, but once
It is. It is. That is the title. That's the project I've been working on for the last several years. Go ahead with your question. But yeah, Keel World is the new album title. And I would love to unveil the album artwork on your show if you don't mind.
yeah, if you got it right
But
there, sure.
if you have a comment or a question about the album first, we can do that too.
All right. Well, from what I understand, is that this album is going to contain songs from your past bands. It's going to be a new song from Keel, a new song from Ron Keel, a new song from Steeler, a new song from Iron Horse. How are you going to distinguish one from the other?
Well, let's dig into that. Let me show you. Let me see the screen share function. This should be working. The host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh,
Uh-oh, I can't share the album cover with you. I was going to do that. I've got the album cover done. And obviously, we can mention a couple of notable tracks. As you mentioned, this is all new music, George. This is not a rehash or stuff from the vaults or the archives. This is a brand new album full of brand new music from all of my projects. Your hard rock and my hard rock and metal fans, our hard rock and metal fans will name some tracks of note. First of all, of course, the Ron Keel Band has some great hard and heavy music on this record, like Heart on the Outside, Heart on the Inside. A really cool song called Weekend with My Friends, which is if Van Halen was from Alabama, this is what they would have sounded like. It's kind of a Southern rock Van Halen, kind of wild and reckless, crazy party track. It's a drinking song. Uh, and of course, the new Keel song, Moving Target, with Mark Ferrari, Brian J, Gino Arce, and Dwayne Miller, a brand new Keel song called Moving Target, which I'm really proud of. We just finished, and I just literally an hour ago got the final mix for the new Steeler track, a brand new Steeler track, the first Steeler song in over 40 years, featuring myself, Rick Fox on bass, Mitch Perry on lead guitar, who replaced Yngwie Malmsteen in Steeler back in '83, and Dwayne Miller on drums. And also our partner, Mark Edwards, who played drums on the original Steeler album. It's called Give Me Guitars or Give Me Death. And this is a true metal guitar anthem. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. Also, it wouldn't be complete without a little Sabbath. I mean, we gotta include the Sabbath chapter in there. A few years ago, I did an album called Emerald Sabbath with a bunch of ex-Black Sabbath singers, players, musicians. The producer, I got to do 3 songs on that record: Die Young, a Dio song; Hole in the Sky, an Ozzy song; and Trashed, an Ian Gillan song. So I got to cover 3 songs on that record. And they decided to do Volume 2, Emerald Sabbath Volume 2. So a whole new group of Sabbath alumni joining together for new versions of the Sabbath classics. And they asked me to sing Children of the Grave, a classic Sabbath Ozzy tune, which lyrically still rings true today, talking about the threat of nuclear destruction. And this is, gosh, what, over 40 years ago that Sabbath released that. That threat of nuclear Armageddon still kind of hangs over our heads today as we all patiently wait for World War III, right? But so the lyrics are still very timely. And they asked me to sing Children of the Grave. And I said, well, I'll do the session for free because they paid me really well for that first session on the Emerald Sabbath project. I got paid really well. But I said, I'll do this one for free if you'll let me put it on my album, Keel World. And they were cool with that. Michael Silliebane, the producer of the record, was cool with that. Let me have the track. And it features Bobby Rondinelli on drums, who played with Sabbath and Rainbow and so many others. Neil Murray on bass, who played with Whitesnake and Sabbath and so forth. And my guitarist, Mike Dresch, my co-producer and guitar player, did the guitar tracks on this track. And what's cool about it is Neil Murray and Bobby Rondinelli both toured with Sabbath, but they never recorded with Sabbath at the same time. So this is the first recording of these ex-Sabbath alumni, Neil Murray, Bobby Rondinelli, and myself on Children of the Grave. It's really cool. I mean, to have these hard and heavy songs on the record, to establish that part of my identity is really important, because that's what most of the fans know me for, and that's what they want to hear. But there is Iron Horse, my band from 2000 to 2007, which we have a lot of Iron Horse fans out there that are hungry for this new music. A great new Iron Horse track. There is some solo acoustic stuff. There is some country music. Ronnie Lee Keel rears his ugly head once again with some real traditional country music with steel guitars and fiddles and all that stuff. So it's a pretty diverse project, but it really captures the entire landscape of my musical history and my personality. I'm really proud of it, and we can't wait to get that released this summer, 2024, Keel World. And if you would have let me share the screen, I would.
You can
Can we
share
do
it.
that? Can
Yeah,
we
you
do
can
that
do it
now?
Yeah, you can do it
Oh,
now.
cool. Here we go. Here's the album cover. And it's a beautiful piece of artwork done by my wife, Renee Keel. It's a combination of the icon, which is kind of like the planet. That's Keel World, with all these weird tentacles swirling around it. And there's a big, ugly gash in the side of it where so that icon really personifies me, my career, my history, with the beautiful blue and gold electric background. And we will, let me see, I got another one here for you. These are the tracks I just mentioned. Let me see if I can share that with you. But the notable tracks from the for all the hard rock and metal fans, you know, you got Hard on the Outside, you got Ron Keel Band doing some hard and heavy stuff. I mean, the Ron Keel Band is not a country group. There's no country music in our show. Uh, it's all Keel, Steeler, Ron Keel Band music. Moving Target, the new Keel song, Weekend with My Friends, Give Me Guitars or Give Me Death, uh, from Steeler, and Children of the Grave from Emerald Sabbath, and lots more where that came from. I can't wait to get this thing done and get it out there. And it's been a long process, uh, just recording remotely. I mean, the Steeler track was done in 4 states. We've got the drums were done in Phoenix, the vocals were done in my home studio here where I'm at. The lead guitars were done in Vegas, and the bass was done in Missouri and in the middle of nowhere. So it's this modern process of recording remotely. I'm not a big fan of it, you know, but we have to. It's convenient just to receive files in the email. But I miss those days when the whole band was in the room together, cutting tracks and interacting and capturing that magic and that chemistry. So we're trying to make the most of that on this project. There's not a whole lot of auto-tune, let's put it that way. You listen to the vocals, you'll know that Ron Keel's not auto-tuning his vocal. I don't have the patience for that shit. I mean, you got to sit there with the graph and you move the notes around. And should be an F sharp, but it's kind of an F. But I don't know. Screw it, man. Just leave it the way it is. I don't have the patience to sit there and auto-tune all these vocals. So what I sing is what you get.
Inevitably, Ron, there's going to be a keyboard warrior or some diehard fan or diehard that thinks they're a diehard that's going to say, hey, there's no songs by Ron Keel's Fair Game on here.
Man, that's a good question. And I really have a Fair Game song that's just not going to get finished in time. I love those girls. It's certainly a very special part of my career, that 1989, 91, 89, 90, 91, 92, when Fair Game was the follow-up band, my post-Keel band. And I really wanted them included on this project. We just didn't, you know, I love the girls. You know, they're good friends and they're a big part of my history. And you know, there are a few songs left on the table here. I've got almost an album's worth of additional material, including the Fair Game song. So maybe we'll have Keel World, the other side, in a year or two. Who knows?
You're going to be on the Keel World tour from 2024 through 2025. From what I understand, and with a lot of the promotion, you're calling this your final appearances in a lot of places. So Do you want to clarify that as this is your final run out touring? This is your final time playing live? This is it for Ron Keel?
Well, of course, that question I knew was going to come up. It's bound to come up in every interview I do from now on because we are billing this weekend show, and that's why I have the shitty hat on today because all my good cowboy hats are in the big cowboy hat case, already packed in the trailer, already in Vegas. I fly out tomorrow morning for our big show in Las Vegas this Friday, and then at the Whiskey again for the final time on Saturday. So that's all my good cowboy hats are in the case in the trailer. So I slapped this one on for you. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely metal cowboyish. And you're going to get that question about the final. That word "final" appears in some of the promotions. I really haven't wrapped my head around how to verbalize it or contextualize it, George, because in large part because everybody before me has retired or farewell tour or whatever, and they've all gone back on their word. You know, from Kiss to Motley Crue and everybody in between, they've all said this is it, and then they come back. Uh, so really, for me to announce it or to make a statement, nobody's going to believe it anyway. I do feel like the clock is ticking. I'm 63. I'm still at the top of my game. I still have my pipes, my health. I'm very thankful to still be able to deliver a product on stage that I'm proud of. But this was a band decision for RKB. The Ron Keel band has been my vehicle the past 10 years for everything that I'm really proud of, and really just it's a family, it's a brotherhood, it's a band, the way a band should be. And I'm a band guy. I'm not a big guy on side projects. I don't have. I mean, you got Keel, of course, and you got the solo acoustic gigs, which are kind of a side gig. But really, it's Ron Keel band for me, and we are on a year-to-year basis with these guys. Uh, some of us decided that it's probably time to celebrate our 10th anniversary together and call it a day. And at this stage of the game, I don't want to start over without these guys. I don't want to build a new band and call it Ron Keel Band. So I'm not really sure. We're not putting a timeline on it. We're booking shows for 2025. I am not quitting, stopping, I'm not retiring. Certainly, I'm going to continue telling stories, making music, entertaining people any way I possibly can. But I can tell you this weekend, I don't know when this will broadcast or when you'll share this with your viewers or listeners, but I can tell you that this is the final Las Vegas show on Friday night, April 5th. This is the final Hollywood show on Saturday, April 6th. We're doing the big Vegas Hollywood run this weekend. And I just feel like, first of all, it's time. I conquered both towns, and I'm very proud of the achievements I had in Hollywood in the 80s with Steeler clawing our way up that landscape to the top of the pile to where we were headlining the major venues. And obviously, the legend of Steeler is well known. And Vegas as well. I moved to Vegas in 2006 with a dream to star in and produce my own show. And we ended up being the longest running, most successful country music show in Las Vegas history. Lasted 10 years. I met my wife, Renee, there in Vegas. Did a lot of great rock gigs there. I feel like I did what I set out to do in Vegas. I just want one more chance to bring this band to those stages. My guitar player, Dave Cawthorn, deserves to stand in that spot where Edward Van Halen stood so many decades ago. My drummer, Jeff the Rev Kohler, deserves to get behind that kit at these legendary venues like the Whiskey and Vamp to Vegas. I want to give these guys the opportunity. I've been there, done that. This is all for and about my band, the members of the Ron Keel band. So it's taken me 10 years to get this band out there, out west. It's very expensive. It's a lot of miles, a lot of logistics involved in doing this. So I do feel confident in saying this is my final Vegas Hollywood run. What the future holds for me as a performer in a band, that's a tough question, George, because I'm a band guy. And the band is a big reason why I'm still healthy, why I'm still singing well and belting out these songs at the top of my lungs after all these years, because I've established a standard that I have to live up to. And it's different. The solo acoustic gigs, I'm belting it out and I'm kicking ass. And I love that part of what I do. But there's nothing like being on stage with your brothers in a band. And uh, that has kept me healthy. It's kept my voice in shape. It's kept me motivated to get off the couch and into the gym and onto the stage and rehearse. I rehearse here. There's a stage right behind me here, behind this screen and camera, where I rehearse 2 to 4 hours a day. And I'm always singing. I'm always trying to keep my chops, keep my game up. But I'm not calling it quits yet. Uh, I am the Energizer Bunny. I'm the cockroach of metal and rock and roll. I'm the guy that won't go away, right? I mean, Ron Keel just keeps going. He just keeps doing new stuff, and he won't stop. He's never going to quit. Old rockers just die, right? Um, and I might die before the end of the tour. Who knows? Tomorrow is not guaranteed for any of us. We know from COVID and everything else that we've all lost friends and family and loved ones and brothers and sisters and parents we've all lost loved ones. Tomorrow is not promised to me or anyone else, but I'm going to live it up before I lay it down. I'm going to drink every drop of this wonderful experience like it's the last bottle on earth.
And it sounds like you're picking the perfect places to go, with Las Vegas being so dear to you, and of course the Whiskey a Go Go and Hollywood. After that, you're heading out to Colombia and Brazil. Have these been big places for you in the past?
I've never been there. It's a bucket list thing, man. I've never been to Latin America or South America. So the opportunity to take the show to Bogota, Colombia in May, and then the following week in Sao Paulo, Brazil for 2 shows. It's a dream come true for me. I do have to get a yellow fever vaccine before I just got the word. Before I get my working visa for Brazil, I have to get a yellow fever vaccine. Hopefully they'll put a little Tennessee sipping whiskey in the cocktail there before they shoot it in my arm. But I'm going, and we're really excited about that opportunity. Lots of other big shows. I'm not sure, when will this broadcast, George? When are you going to share this with everybody?
Probably in 2 weeks or so.
Oh, cool! So we can announce some more shows.
You could.
We can, well, we can certainly announce the Stadium Rock 80 show in Louisville, Kentucky on that is August 2, 3, and 4. Now on August 2nd, I'm doing the pre-party solo acoustic. This is the VIP pre-party. And on the bill on Saturday, the following day, we've got Great White, Slaughter, Vixen, Enough's Enough, a lot of my friends, and obviously a big stadium show for us. And on Sunday, a major headliner, which I probably shouldn't mention yet, but a major headliner with Ron Keel Band, the entire band on the big stage, on the main stage, as direct support on Sunday, August 4th. On the Saturday, when we've got Great White and Vixen and Slaughter, Enough's Enough, all my friends, Nova Rex, Pretty Boy Floyd, they'll all be on stage, but I'll be at the KRFK radio booth doing a live broadcast with interviewing some of the artists and some of the fans and doing my radio gig on the Saturday. So I'm performing Friday, August 2, and then August 3 is the big Saturday gig, but Sunday a major headliner with Ron Keel Band direct support, and it's really cool to be included in shows like this that celebrate the history and the spirit of the 80s. And also, we've got Phoenix and Tucson, May 24, 25. We've got Tucson, a place called the Encore, on May 24th. Phoenix, Arizona, one of my original hometowns. We moved there in 1969. And that's where I had my first girl, my first car, my first guitar, my first drum set. And so Phoenix is certainly one of my treasured hometowns. And to bring the Ron Keel Band back there for a big show on May 25th at Club 40. It's called the 44. It's a really cool venue. I played there for a charity benefit in December. And I thought, man, I love this place. I want to bring the band out here. And they said yes. So we're bringing Ron Keel Band to Phoenix on May 25th, Tucson, May 24th. There's There's a few more shows that are going to be added to the calendar, and I want to fill up the calendar with as many good times as I possibly can while I still can.
So I know you're taking it out as the Ron Keel band, and you got this Keel World album coming out that kind of celebrates all your bands. Could we expect any former band members maybe popping up for a song or two at any of these gigs?
Man, you never know what to expect at a Ron Keel band gig. I'll get the fans on stage with me to sing and play, and we've done that multiple times. The invitation is always there for anyone who's been a part of my musical family. I can tell you that Dwayne Miller from Keel is going to join us on stage Friday night in Las Vegas. His band, Deirdre. It's and her she's like Madonna, only she's Deirdre. She is an amazing, young, hot, powerful rock singer, modern rock, alternative rock, I guess you'd call it. But we've included her on the Live the Rock compilation CD from RFK Media. She's a dear friend, an amazing front person. And Dwayne Miller from Keel is the drummer in her band. So I kind of orchestrated this, myself, to get them opening up for us in Vegas on Friday night. And we'll get Dwayne Miller on stage to play a couple of Keel songs with us. That's got to happen.
Absolutely.
I don't think Ingmay Malmsteen's going to be making any surprise appearances at my gigs, George, by the way. But the invitation is there. Ingmay, you're always welcome to come up and shred with me. We'll do Cold Day in Hell, Backseat Driver, anytime, man. It's on.
Well, another place where people can experience Keel World is on your Patreon page. Fans can, you really peel back the curtain on everything, behind the scenes stuff, unreleased material, rare material, stuff that's been long gone, like some of the Sabbath stuff that you did. And I know some of the early Steeler stuff is on there. So if you kind of want to sum up what fans would expect if they signed up for your Patreon.
Absolutely. And this is highly recommended. And I know that we all have multiple subscriptions these days. We got Netflix and Amazon Prime and this and that. It's $6 to $8 to $12 a month for any one of them. Patreon.com/Ron Keel is $6.99 a month for all access. And when I say all access, I mean all access. You go behind the scenes with us in the studio. You're going to get live clips from the first Keel show ever until the next show that I do. Fan interaction, personal messaging, and you'll never pay for my music. If you're an all access member, you're going to get a free download to everything that I do. There is a list of collections there where you'll listen to the radio show on demand. The everything that I could possibly do to give these people their money's worth, and it's a wonderful, and it's not just me now. It's grown into a family. It's a real community. And these members, Keelaholics, they call themselves, Keelaholics, they are now friends and family, and they're hooking up to make road trips to the gigs, and they've become a true family of friends and way more than fans. I started this online platform during my wife's bout with cancer in 2017. I realized immediately when she was diagnosed with cancer, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here to take care of her and see her through the 9 surgeries and chemo and radiation and all that. I got to find a way to work from home, right? Let's do it online. Patreon was the perfect platform for me to build this community of friends and fans where I can sing. Last night we did a Zoom meeting with our VIP Patreons, and I sang them a new song, and I told them the news. I give concert announcements, and just kind of it really is a family reunion every time we get together. And 2020 was a tough year for almost everybody in so many ways, all around the planet. For me, it was the most successful year of my career, and I'm not just talking about the fan interaction that we did online with platforms like Zoom or the other broadcast platforms that we use. It was financially saved my ass. It was the biggest sales, it was the most 2020 was the most successful year of my career because of these Keelaholics that all gravitated to this online platform. We have almost 500 members now. which isn't a lot, in terms of, I mean, at one point I sold 90,000 records in 1 week, back in 85. 90,000 albums in 1 week. That's pretty cool. And now I'm so grateful and so thankful for those 400 something Keelaholics that subscribe to patreon.com/Ron Keel. You get a 20% merchandise discount on everything. So a $15 CD is only going to cost you $12. 20% merchandise discounts, concert ticket discounts to all my shows, and just anything I can give those fans and those people that have supported me and given me the opportunity to entertain them from home or on the road. There's whole shows. There's entire concert videos from Keel to Ron Keel Band and everything in between. I don't do a whole lot of YouTube stuff or Facebook Live or any of that. Of course, we have the YouTube channel, which you can see all the official music videos, which is youtube.com/at Ron Keel RFK Media. So I encourage everybody to subscribe to that. But that Patreon platform is my home online, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to plug it.
Truth be told, I was a Keelaholic on the Patreon page for about a year, probably back in 2020. I got this album with a discount code, and you even sent me a free album of your acoustic set. So it was definitely well worth the monthly subscription. You definitely get more bang for the buck.
Thank you, George. I appreciate that. And usually, I'll go down the list and when we're shipping orders, and I'll see a Patreon member. You can tell because they use the discount. And I'll throw something extra in there, whether it's a little piece of memorabilia out of my collection or whatever. I'll do anything I can to show those people how much I appreciate them.
So, celebrating this 40 years of your career, looking back, any regrets?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now being the label chief of RFK Media and working with other artists like Cold Sweat. We just released the Cold Sweat record last week. Crashing Wayward, The Fifth. Now I am in the position of being, the label chief, or and I just wish these people would just listen to me, just like I should have listened to the people that were my mentors and my the people at the record company. Sometimes they knew best, sometimes they didn't. There were a lot of decisions that were made back then that were out of my hands. I could point to a couple of them. Releasing Because the Night as the first single off the Final Frontier album was a huge mistake. It was the next single after The Right to Rock. And Right to Rock was that timeless, quintessential 80s metal anthem, which everybody gravitated to. It resonated with the hearts of all those metal fans, and they made it their song. And to follow that with Because the Night gave the fan base the impression that we were selling out. And we're trying to be commercial. And we did a cover song / ballad or whatever. Now I love the song, and that song's still part of our show. Every time I walk on stage, whether a solo acoustic gig or a Ron Keel band show, Because the Night is part of the show. But looking back, that was a really bad decision. Should have followed Right to Rock with something like Rock and Roll Animal off the Final Frontier album, a powerful, heavy rock anthem to establish your identity, and then you can get into the power ballads later on. So that was out of my hands. My regrets, they're personal more than musical. I regret being on the road when my mom and dad died. I wasn't there at their bedside because show must go on, right? Bullshit. I should have been there. I should have canceled the shows, and I should have been there by their bedside when they passed. Those are the kind of regrets that really matter. Bad business decisions, bad marriages, or whatever. We've all had them, right? But I regret most of all not listening to my teachers and my mentors and thinking I knew it all when I was 22, man. And I'm in the same boat with some of our artists now. Well, the band wants to do this. Well, hold on. The band should do this, because if you do this, you have a better chance of success. So I'm now in that mentor role with our artists and our bands and some of the acts that we work with who are putting out great music that I love, But I'm going, hold on, there's a method to this madness. It's not rocket science to succeed in this business or any other business or in life in general. You do whatever you can, you do whatever it takes. It's just that simple.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to experience the highs if you didn't experience the lows. And with age comes wisdom. And here we are still talking about Ron Keel and your legacy. And it's been 40 years.
Yeah. I never imagined that it would last this long. Really thankful for that. Um, Thankful for my health, for my longevity. I think that just still being here, is an accomplishment in itself because we've lost so many dear friends and so much great talent and so many iconic musician friends of mine that are never going to play again because they're not here. And so I'm very thankful for the opportunity to still be able to create music, share it with people that want to listen, get on stage and exhaust myself. And I'm looking forward to doing that for as long as I possibly can. Um, I appreciate the fans more than anything that have kept me going. And whether I think I've been called a polarizing figure. I get a lot of hate. I get a lot of hate, George. A lot of, are you still doing country music? And well, no, Ron Keel Band doesn't play any country music in the show, but I still write and record some twang from time to time. There's country music on the new album. The metal fans are going to have to react to that as they will. Bring it on. The keyboard warriors can say what they want. Very comfortable in my own skin, and very thankful that I can express myself through music, whether it's whatever style of music you want to call it. This song we released in 2022 called "When This Is Over," which is a really, really special song in my catalog and in my history of my career. People will, I don't even know what kind of music it is, George. It's not metal, kind of a power ballad. It's not Southern rock. It's not country. I'm not really sure what it is. I don't know what to call it. You got to put a label on it. We just call it rock. When I was growing up, we listened to the same radio. We had one radio station. They played the Eagles and Black Sabbath. And that's kind of where I'm still at, man. I mean, I'm half Eagles, half Black Sabbath. That's just how it's turned out on my path. I wander this musical landscape called Keel World. It's no man's land, but it's where I call home.
Well, Ron, I've enjoyed the last 40 years from you, and I wish you the best of luck going forward. The latest single is Heart on the Outside, Heart on the Inside, coming soon. Keel World, the album, featuring pretty much 40 years of Ron Keel, and you're hitting the road to celebrate it. And I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me and KNAC.com today and telling us more about it.
No, thank you, George. You do a great job. You're one of my favorites I'm a fan of yours as well. And KNAC.com is that legacy, that brand speaks for itself. So thank you and KNAC.com for giving me the opportunity to talk to rock with you today.